Good morning, dear students. I am teaching chapter 6. Name of the chapter 6 is the combustion and flame. And today we will discuss about fuels and their types. From chapter 6, topic is the fuels and their types. So, the prime necessities of a human being are food, clothing and shelter. These are the primary necessities, and none of these necessities can be available unless we have heat energy to cook our food and other kind of energy to run machines for manufacturing articles of clothing and shelter. These are our basic necessities which we need in our activities. What is the fuel? Any substance which is easily available and burns in air at a moderate rate, and it can produce a large amount of heat energy without leaving behind any undesirable residue is called a fuel. What is the calorific value of a fuel? The amount of heat energy it is produced on completely burning 1 kilogram of a fuel in pure oxygen is called the calorific value of a fuel. What is the calorific value of a fuel? The amount of heat energy it produced completely burning 1 kilogram of a fuel in pure oxygen. This is called the calorific value of a fuel. Thus, a fuel which produces more heat energy per kilogram is said to have a higher calorific value, and as a matter of fact, more is the calorific value of a fuel, more is the efficiency of the fuel, and the calorific value of the fuel is expressed in kilojoules per kilogram. Kilojoules per kilogram. Kilojoules per kilogram. And the calorific value of common solids, liquids and gaseous fuels is given below. Calorific value of solid fuels, that is the fuel, cow dung, cake, calorific value in kilojoule per kilogram, that is the 6000 to 8000, wood 17,000 to 22,000, and coal 25,000, coal that is 25,000 to 33,000. These are the calorific value of the given fuels. And calorific value of a liquid fuels, that is a petrol 45,000, kerosene 45,000, diesel 45,000, and calorific value of gaseous fuels, that is a methane 50,000 kilojoule per kilogram, butane that is a LPG 50,000, CNG 50,000, biogas 35 to 40,000, and hydrogen 1,50,000. What is the characteristics of a good fuel? It should be cheap and readily available. If it is available in good quantity, then it is good, and it should be easy to store, and it should not produce any hazard during transportation. It cannot if it will create any disturbance in the transportation, then it is not good. So what is the characteristics of a good fuel? That is, it should not produce any hazards during transportation, and it should have a large calorific value, and it should produce a very small amount of residues such as ash, and it should not produce gases which pollute the air, and it should have low ignition temperature, and it should burn at a slow rate, and its combustion should be controllable. Classification of fuels. What is the classification of fuels? On the basis of physical state of fuel, that is the solid fuels. The fuels which occur in a solid state at room temperature are called the solid fuels. That is the examples: wood, agricultural residues, charcoal, coke, paraffin wax and liquid fuels. The fuels which occur in a liquid state at room temperature are called the liquid fuels. Obviously liquid fuels which occur at the room temperature in liquid form, that is called the liquid fuel. And examples, that is the liquefied hydrogen, petrol, kerosene, diesel, furnic oil, alcohol. Gaseous fuel which occur in gaseous state at the room temperature, they are called the gaseous fuels. Examples, water gas, producer gas, coal gas, compressed natural gas, gobar gas, hydrogen gas. Which is best fuel and why? Among us the fuel in gaseous state are the best on account of the following reasons. Why gaseous fuels are the best? Account different types of reasons are there. You can see gaseous fuels can be supplied to the consumers with ease through pipelines or gas cylinders, and gaseous fuels do not leave behind any ash or solid residue on combustion. Gaseous fuels produce the least amount of harmful gases as compared to the solid or liquid fuels, and the gaseous fuels can be easily ignited in especially designed burners with a tiny spark. The gaseous fuels have a high calorific value as compared to the liquid or the solid fuels, and the rate of burning of the gaseous fuels can be easily controlled with the help of control value. Problems created by the combustion of fuels. All these products of the combustion are pollutants and can cause a number of problems listed below. Carbon dioxide. No doubt, carbon dioxide acts as food for the plants and hence is taken out of air, yet the amount of carbon dioxide produced is too large for the plants to handle. We are releasing carbon dioxide and this amount of carbon dioxide is too much, so it is very difficult to handle for the plants, and the excess of carbon dioxide in air traps heat energy with the result the temperature of the earth is gradually rising. So temperature of the earth is gradually rising, and it has been estimated that if the amount of carbon dioxide continues increasing at the present rate, then in about 100 years the ice in Arctic and Antarctic circles will completely melt. If carbon dioxide will increase within like this within 100 years, then Arctic and Antarctic circles will completely melt. Ice will melt. Carbon monoxide. It is a highly poisonous gas. Very small amounts of it in the air cause breathing problems. Large amounts or it can death. If carbon monoxide is present in a large quantity, then it will cause death. Nitrogen dioxide. This gas is soluble in water and it dissolves in water vapor present in air, and then by the action of sunlight changes to nitric acid. When it rains, the nitric acid is washed down to the earth where it weakens the buildings and damages the plants and trees, thereby causing deforestation. Such a rain is called the acid rain. And sulfur dioxide. Next is the sulfur dioxide. This gas causes lung problems and it also dissolves in water, and after dissolving it can produce sulfuric acid, and when it rains, the acid in the damaged buildings, plants and trees. Carbon particles and ash. Carbon particles of smoke or ash get suspended in the air, and excessive amount of them in the air causes breathing problems, and in winter these particles produce a smoke. The smoke reduces the visibility to a few meters and thus interference with rail, road or air transport. Smoke is very harmful to plants as well as animals. Some oral questions are given on page number 76 and you have to do with yourself. Now syllabus completed. I have completed chapter 17, 18, 16 and 6, and only 2 chapters are remaining, chapter 6 and 15 for writing. I will give the notes and you can download it and you have to write. Now syllabus completed and you will take revision of chapter 6, and chapter 6 is the combustion and flame. So this is all about the chapter 6, combustion and flame.